Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our second episode of our second season of Dragon Age. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Tonight I'll be playing Aiden, the guy who got lost. That's all we know. I'm just some old dude. Um, and we have a cast of wonderful players for the game tonight. But before we do so, before we introduce everyone, I would just like to take a few moments to talk about our sponsors for tonight. We're going to be starting with Found Familiar, great coffee company. You should definitely check them out at foundfamiliar.com, and you can even use code WanderingDM to get 15% off your 10% off your coffee purchases. Next up is Roll20, the virtual tabletop that we use here on all of our games on Wandering DM. I'm trying to find something at the same time, but you can check them out with the panel down below or with the link in chat. And our third sponsor is Magen Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. You can check them out at store.magenpress.com, and you can also, I would advise, to go check out their Kickstarter, which is now live. Actually live and funded in 4 hours for Conspiracy in the starter adventure that they've made for the Dark Matter campaign setting. I got to be part of the writing team, and Gabe got to be part of the writing team. And if
Sleeping is a myth.
Huh?
Sleep is a myth.
Yeah, and if they reach $100,000 in backing, they will release extended rules on mechas and giant robot fighting, which is something that I was very, very much interested during our Dark Matter campaign here. So that's it for our sponsors. We have, of course, our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. Check them out using the purple torch down below or the link in chat. That's it for the spiel. Let's go around the table. Tell us who you are. We'll be playing. We'll do counter clockwise, and we'll end with Tanya, our GM for Dragon Age. So we'll begin with Deirdre.
Clockwise.
I said counter. It's 8 o'clock. I'm already drunk.
Yeah, well, whatever. Welcome to Thirsty Thursdays, y'all. Hi, all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter. Praxagorath has me for you know me around on Twitch. And now I get to play Verisa, our sneaky stabby bitch. Dalish elf who wants to kill people and is not upset at all that her keeper is now missing. And there are new people. And she's kind of maybe okay with them. Well, as okay as she gets.
Andrew. Andrew? You're muted.
Case in point, I'm having a very momentous moment. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Andrew. I get to play Bastion, our Ferelden warrior. And yeah, I'm a little lost right now. I will need to actually get something. Yes. Give me a second. I'm going to be right back. Sorry.
No problem. Kelly.
I didn't do anything. It's not my fault. It's probably my fault, to be honest. It's probably Mavia's fault, to be honest, with everything. Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Mavia, the rather odd little dwarf who has no business being in a magical place, but nonetheless is apparently the best investigator out of everybody. Who did get to meet new people and was slightly distrustful, but once she had shared trail snacks with them, it's totally fine. Once we share trail snacks, life is good. You know? But what if they like to cut themselves and pour blood on things and make things happen? I mean, that's fine. Everybody, that's like Friday night for most people, right? Anyway, That's me.
And last but certainly not least amongst our players is Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe. I'm playing Athson. It's gonna be a really interesting day when everyone realizes that Athson is less of the blood slinging potential psychopath that there is the concern he is. Uh, but you know what? I guess that's Dragon Age. Um, I'm excited to see where this goes because it's already chaos and it's only gonna go uphill from here. Tanya, I'm just gonna this is Gabe doing an overall apologize because whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna be weird as hell. I know it. It might not even be my fault, but it's gonna happen.
So should we just like say you all murdered each other in the crossroads? The end.
No.
Oh,
Sin doesn't kill people.
Oh my gosh, maybe you wouldn't kill somebody like that. That's like the law of hospitality.
Wait, why did you say like that? That was a weird that was a
No.
weird extra piece.
No.
No.
She would definitely not ever stab someone in the back after she shared her food with them.
Got it. This is lying. My bad.
No, it's actually not lying. This is literally
my
how
God.
Mavia is. Mavia is
Maybe a shared food. She's not going to kill anybody.
I mean, once I've shared food with you, like we're practically family. So
you broke
yeah,
bread.
Wow.
that's it. Well, trail snacks.
Huh.
They're not actually bread. They're like really bad granola bars, like but without the M&Ms trail mix stuff. It's not great. Poor Tanya. She's just.
Okay.
And speaking of Tanya, hello.
Hi. I'm the one driving this wagon into Avernus. I'm sorry, the Void. Got my fandoms mixed up. But I'm your DM, Tanya. Cypher Tier everywhere online, all your NPCs. And oh boy, this is gonna be interesting this week because I have a plan. Let's see if it happens. Because I don't know if everyone will do what I need them to do. And in that case, who knows what'll happen in the second half of the show. This is karmic retribution for what I did to Sharif on Rivals last Sunday. So before we get into shenanigans, everyone give a recap of what you did last week as we went through the crossroads and new characters were met.
I got angry.
Yeah, you were having like you needed a couch and a therapist, I think, last week. Bastian was having some. Bastian was not having.
Very big issues. Yeah.
I mean, Verisa was just trying to find the bleeding person and slightly concerned that the bunch of people are missing, like Harold and Zelanis. And then was like, oh, wait, there's this other elf. They're okay. They can open the door. That's the important part. And there's this old dude. Don't really care about him. Human, not with my effort. And that was it. That's what that was Verisa.
I mean, yeah, Mavia, was a little mean. May or may not have pulled a knife on Athson in a delicate area, but I mean, then she gave him food. Oh, come on, buddy. Then she gave him food, and he was better after that, I think. And then she just wanted to know, like, if he'd ever ridden a Fluffalo, which is a very important question. And then she found a big pool of blood because for some reason Kelly actually rolled better than anybody else, which never happens.
I got lost.
You got very lost, incredibly lost. Well, first, what happened to Harold?
Strangers.
Harold got lost.
Yes, and
Harold
Athson-
actually got lost. I mean, he spawned elsewhere, not knowing where anybody were. He thought that perhaps if he went in the direction of Skyhold, he would probably stumble upon another Illuvian closer to Skyhold and be able to get out from there and go back home. But he's all alone and scared and needs to be held, preferably by someone buff. Preferably without clothes.
Well, that person is way on the other side of any alluvians that Hurl has found. So, yeah. And Addison, you met this motley crew. What do you think?
I think they're gonna kill me.
Wow.
Okay, so if Atson is a blood mage who is probably not in good standing with the circle and then is alone by himself and then meets people who then tell him to open a door, if he doesn't listen, he thinks he's gonna die. Because he doesn't know where he is either.
Verisa asked. She did ask.
She's not a nice person, Deidre. She said, "I'm not sorry" in a language that only they knew.
No,
Well, but
actually, that's
yeah.
good.
But she was actually but she was talking to Mavia at the time.
But I didn't understand you.
Yeah, only Aston did. That was why it's like, oh, they're going to kill me.
Yeah, maybe I didn't understand a word you were saying.
I thought that she was being polite.
I mean, to be fair, that was Verisa being polite.
He doesn't know that.
And also, I would like to point out that Mavia just thinks the blood magic thing is cool because she also has no idea what Kirkwall or a Chantry is because Kelly didn't know, so Mavia didn't know.
Yeah, it's not great.
And so she's like, you just do really cool magic with blood. Do you do it with other people's blood? Because that could be really useful in the middle of a fight. And that's pretty much all she took out of the conversation.
Oh, Lord.
Except that she had bacon. He didn't have bacon, actually, and I think she's out. That might be the problem.
Do you have?
I'm hoping Bastion has some stashed away somewhere, but
all of my characters are very food driven and anxious because I base them on myself. Okay?
At least you're honest.
Fair. And I believe when we ended last week, you had just gotten through the other alluvian that you had followed the blood trail to. And you got there and there was like greenery and it didn't look like the weirdness of the rest of the crossroads so far. So is everyone ready to pick up where we left off?
I mean, we did find that giant pool of blood.
We found the big pool of blood.
True.
Well, Mavia found it. None of y'all saw it.
True, but also you all kind of investigated the blood and you discovered it was human blood, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was a few hours old.
It was a few hours old. It was human blood. And that's when I defer to Kelly because I don't know any of this, like arterial spray or any of this information.
I'm just saying, this knowledge is a great icebreaker at parties. It's why I get invited to so many.
what kind of parties do you go to?
I don't.
Oh, so see, I can't tell when it's sarcasm. You gotta preface with something.
And Kelly's. So we know now never to play poker with Kelly.
Yeah.
Because we'll all lose.
I actually don't know how to play poker, so you're fine.
I don't believe that though. Everything is
basically, you could tell us probably any fact and be just so stone-faced. We'd be like, "Oh my god, are you serious?"
I mean, have you heard some of the plots of operas? There's a reason I have to learn how to be straight-faced. This shit is just outlandish. Anyway.
Oh yeah. So before we get too carried away, so where we're picking up is a few hours later. You all have searched. You haven't found any sign of Anders or anything else, and you're in this grove with a bunch of alluvians, and you've hit that point where it's like you need to make camp and stop running ragged, otherwise you'll be no good for searching the next day if you can tell when days start and end, because it's the crossroads and there's no real sense of day night like you're used to. Like your body knows that X number of hours have passed, but there's nothing like a setting sun, there's no moon in the sky, there's nothing normal that any of you would know to realize like 12, 16, 18 hours has passed. But for now, you all have found a place to camp. You know, you were prepared somewhat to go through this alluvian. You didn't think you'd be gone for a lot of time, but at least for the next few days, you've got enough rations, you've got a tent, or at least a sleeping bag. So you can make camp Near an alluvion in a space well away from them, just in case something comes through. You know, for the sake of not starving you, you found a creature. It's edible. It's meat. You're not sure what it is, though. It's nothing any of you would know from your travels or your own background. It's just, it was running around and you caught it, and it's edible. So you have fresh meat for dinner. No. Please don't kill the DM.
I didn't know you'd taken a drink. I'm sorry. I wouldn't.
Didn't. I just took a deep breath.
I
So-
call it mystery meat.
It is mystery meat because the only one who may have a chance at knowing what it is would be Athson. If you want to take a roll. If
Sure,
not-
let's do it.
All right, I guess it'd be a history or my brain is just still stuck in D&D mode. I'm trying to think of what it would be a good roll. But it helps that I actually remember to open the game this week. I was like, wait a second. Characters, cultural or arcane lore on cunning.
Ooh, I have both of those.
Yes, because I looked at your character sheet.
Oh, you're smart. Do the thing. Do the thing. All right. Well, that didn't work, so I'm just gonna hit that. Good lord, am I mathing? Math is hard.
Wait,
I don't know.
you would have a focus in it. So if you click on the word under cunning, it should roll it
Oh.
for you there.
Yes.
Yes.
And then it'll roll it with the focus.
Okay. Let's try that again. Aha.
is that better?
I don't think so. I think that was almost the same. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15.
So the rest of you, if you knew any better, you would think it was a cousin of a nug. It's not a nug. I'm not making you eat nug that because I feel like Liliana would materialize behind me if I did that.
What is that?
Nugs are very cute creatures that look like almost like pigs. Nug, not dog. Scotty is our honorary Mabari of the party.
Who has no teeth and he's desperately trying to chew that treat. Hold on.
Oh, he's such a cutie pie. So it's like it would be like a weird ancestor of a nug. Basically, you found like a pig, but it's like a weird elven pig that nobody except Athson figured
Bacon.
out.
Oh shit. Talk. Yep.
I wasn't gonna call it bacon.
It's bacon.
It's basically bacon, isn't it?
It's bacon. Tanya's trying to ward off any trouble. She's just giving maybe some bacon.
That's fair.
I
You know,
wasn't
that's a
even
smart
thinking
choice.
that. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, oh my god, you put
Nuggets. Shoot.
So those are
Wait,
nugs.
those are nugs. Basically, they're like hairless pigs. So think of a hairless cat, but a pig.
Yeah.
I can't eat that.
Well, that's not what you found exactly. Imagine a larger one of those that is enough to feed all of you. Because nugs are like this. Like
Mhm.
one nug wouldn't even be a meal for one person.
Oh, so this thing is hefty.
Yeah, so it's like y'all had some good hunting and you're roaming around and you found I can't think of a better word for it, a nugalope. There's a nugalope in
Somebody
the lore.
said there's a dire nug.
No dire nugs because then you'd have combat and I'm not ready for combat yet. We just you basically found like a nugalope. So basically like an antelope sized nug. But it's an ancient creature. I'm not going to show you what.
That's terrifying because that thing is like huge then.
It was a young nugalope.
Okay.
That's how you caught it.
That makes sense.
I was
No,
going, the
I
more you
mean-
describe it, Tanya, the more I'm thinking, and it is the last of its species.
Wow.
Supper!
Wow.
You're the worst.
Oh.
You are the worst, all of you.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, this is going to
Thing.
be.
Although probably Verisa shot it. I mean, to be fair, Verisa probably shot
And
It
it.
probably was
also-
like food.
Also, I really think that Click Flint should be timed out for saying Nugalopes congregate at ICP concerts.
ICP.
Insane Clown
Clown
Posse. Juggalos. They needed to be timed out for that.
And we've been on for 25 minutes.
Yay.
So about this bacon though.
So anyway, you all have caught this thing. And, just to horrify you more, since some of you are terrible, have you seen the giant nug that you can ride in Inquisition?
Yes.
It has hands like a person.
Oh.
Yes. It's a giant war nug that you basically can ride, but it has hands like this that it walks on. So enjoy those fingers.
I mean, that would be kind of like chicken wings, wouldn't it? Honestly.
Nuggets.
Whatever you do with it, there's enough to make some bacon, some jerky. Y'all are gonna be eating good off this thing for a little while.
I mean, jerky probably, but I don't know if, well, we can smoke it and slow. Do we have enough wood to smoke it?
I mean, there's trees right there. There are green trees right there that you
Yeah.
could actually cut down. You're gonna be here for a while.
I do feel we might be spending a little too much time on dinner. Poor Tanya.
I'm just like,
You're like, you found something and killed it and ate it. There.
well, I was going to say that while you are like cooking the young Nuggalope, this gives you all a chance to sit and talk. Because, and this is a little bit out of character, a little fourth wall breaking behind the scenes. It was pointed out, and I agree with it, Gabe pointed out that the way that you all interacted at first with the new characters, there was really no reason for Aston to stay and help you. He could have noped right back out to that same alluvian and be like, deuces, I don't know you weirdos. I'm going to go back to wandering the crossroads, and it would have made perfect sense. So to seal the fourth wall, we're going to have some conversations to make this a bit more reasonable. So, and this is why I said it's roleplay heavy, and I forgot my dice until like 5 minutes before we went live. So, Aston and Bastion, I believe you two have some chatting to do about that very aggressive meeting that you first had. That means talk. Because you two are looking at me like...
Aston's probably just looking at the party hesitantly. Like he would take his lunch and then go probably about 10 feet away. So he's within earshot, but is not like...
He would do that, but he's going to get a lunch buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
She's just going to come sit next to you. Lunch buddy.
Well, dinner buddy, remember?
Dinner buddy.
Is this like still the same kind of like I'm gonna whisper and everyone's gonna hear me environment, or is there like a little bit of background noise?
There's not a lot of background noise, but as you can see from the map, there's more than one place where you could kind of wander off and go sit. There's some stones back there. So like once the meat is cooked, you can like wander off to like kind of a rock enclosure. If you want to chat, now it's your choice of whether maybe it gets to sit with you and maybe be a neutral third party, or if this is just like, okay, we got off on the bad foot. How can we make this right?
Yeah,
I don't mind Mavia like, being there.
She'll see Bastian come over and she'll just be like mid bite and she's like, should I stay or should I
You're fine if you want to stay.
Adson?
It's fine, I suppose.
Okay. Let me know if you need more food. I'll go get you more food. It's okay.
Now, I'm assuming Adson is sitting down eating his food, like kind of minding his own. Okay. So Bastion, of course, is going to still kind of broody. He's gonna sit nearby, like more like just kneel nearby with his own food, not really touch it. And he's gonna look at Aston and not quite sure how he feels per se. He's gonna say, well, I've been told to be trusting of you. Told very seriously.
I hope that I give you more reason to. Then
Hopefully. But I was a little stressed, and you reminded me of something when you first showed up, something that I don't like to dwell on.
what is
I
that?
Well,
Is it a secret?
it's old. You asked for a thought when you first showed up.
Yes.
Would that be easier for you?
Potentially, but
So he's just going to pull his blade out just enough to nick like his thumb so that a drop of blood forms easily. And he's going to stretch his hand out towards Athson.
All right. So then I am going to try to cast thought taking.
Okay. What does that do?
So the spell allows a blood mage to probe deep into a target's thoughts, uncovering their deepest secrets, desires, and fears. Must touch a target's forehead and concentrate for 1 minute, during which the time, like, they make a willpower test. And if I succeed, I can penetrate their mind and basically ask the game master an honest question.
Okay. Well, since he's offering the blood of his own free will, you still need to do a check?
I probably not, because it's just if they're resisting. So if he's willing, I don't think it would require one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, and then ask Bastien for his truth.
All right. So all right, that is enough because I needed a 17. And so I guess the question is, what did Athson remind him of?
So Bastion, when he was young, maybe a bit of backstory will help also. His mom was Orlesian, and she left Orlais. She was part of the Grand Game at one point. She left. She exiled herself. Ended up in Ferelden, met his dad, and then, of course, Bastion and his siblings occurred. The only time in his life that he ever saw another Orlesian, like at the family home, it was somebody who his mother refused to speak of who it was, and they had what seemed like an argument, but using a lot of metaphor and a lot of language to try and confuse everybody as to what was actually going on, and nobody could really understand. And within only a few days, that's when his mother was killed. So his only association to riddles and heavy metaphor and really confusing stuff like that is that event.
Interesting. And Aston will probably jolt back a little bit. And it looks like his smirk is almost fighting to go back down. And he leans in. Then I'll give you one of mine. I don't smirk because I'm happy. It is a nervous tick that I gained out of fear, because the circle is not always friendly. If I smirk, it's because I'm nervous.
Is he smirking right now?
Yes.
Maybe we'll reach over and pat his knee.
He's probably shaking a little bit.
She is very, very sad. So instead of patting his knee, she reaches over and takes his hand instead. She's like, it's okay.
The blood magic wasn't something that I necessarily wanted, and it found me as a means of survival. And I left because I would not survive very long if they found out.
That
We
I
do
know.
what we have to do.
Indeed.
You learn blood magic. I forge documents. We do what we have to do. Yours is definitely more important than mine, but
He looks at Bastion and asks, is she the most dangerous one? She feels like the most dangerous one.
No,
Okay.
definitely, actually, Verisa.
That's fair. She terrifies me. She said she was not sorry for some reason.
I don't think she's sorry about anything ever, actually.
Okay, that's fair. Also, to be honest, I have no idea who the strange man is. He just showed up at the same time.
He's old.
Aiden would be like far away, whistling to himself.
Why is he
How-
whistling to himself?
How long have
What
you
is
been
he
in the
whistling?
Crossroads?
I've been in the crossroads for maybe an hour. This time.
How long have we been in the crossroads?
It
Are you
feels like a long
asking-
time.
I'm
Are you
not.
at-
I'm asking one of them. I have no idea.
Because I honestly say, I probably, because of the blood magic, Aston was probably trying to gauge the crossroads and try to navigate a little bit at a time. So this is probably the longest he's been in, like, prolonged, because it's like, okay, I can probably get through fine. And it did not end up good.
Did you want to eat some more Atsun? Because I can let go of your hand if you want to eat some more.
No,
Are you
this is
are you
okay.
feeling
This is-
better? This is okay. Okay, good.
This is the most contact I've had with someone in a while where they were not trying to
Kill you.
So she reaches over with her other hand and pats him, and then reaches back and picks up some more bacon and just starts chewing happily.
the smirk drops a little bit and it becomes a softer smile. It's the nicest you're gonna get. I'm going back to drinking.
Is that what you said, in or out of character?
You know what? A little bit of probably both. Probably both.
Okay, as I was just like, is this Gabe? Is this
Nah,
Absent?
that
Or
was
is it
Gabe.
both?
That was 100% Gabe.
I think my characters always seem to scare Gabe, and I'm telling you the truth. Maybe it's not. She's literally what you see is what you get. Mostly, she might have lied about a few
Say
things,
most.
but
I'm not going to be surprised though if she gets like the drop on the boss and kills it.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Kelly has never gotten a killing blow on a boss in any tabletop game. I'd just like to put that out.
I mean, you did kill the Fearling.
Oh yeah, I did do that because he touched
Maybe
Iron Bull.
yeah, exactly.
I needed to find. I'm not even gonna go.
Wait, okay, so hold on. Strange old man Aiden is just whistling to himself, walking around.
I wanted to know what he was
He's
whistling.
not
What's he?
walking around. He basically, doesn't really know anyone. So Aiden just took his food, left to sit like on one of those like half benches, half fences to eat and just like whisper a song as he like, well, not necessarily not whisper, not whistling, just like humming a song.
Okay. I mean, is this loud enough for others to hear him, or is he just kind of like?
He's not trying to attract attention, but he's not trying to be secretive either. Like, I mean, if someone just pays attention for a second or so, they might hear it. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of background noise in the Crossroads.
No. All right. So for Aiden, are you doing anything aside from eating?
Right now, mostly eating and from time to time looking at everyone in turn and just trying to like making stories in my head about who they are.
So you're gonna be creepy.
Well, I'm not trying to be creepy, but like I haven't seen people in so long. I don't remember how to.
So he would like look over and see Mavia and Atson holding hands and just staring at him like.
Oh, he would probably like mouth still full of food, just like wave.
Oh my god! So he's like the creepy old man in the park that always sits on the same bench with a bag of Crown Royal.
Talks to the pigeons by name.
And always has like food in his pocket, and it's just like you just
There's
wonder.
nothing wrong with food in the pocket.
Let me finish. Okay, maybe it has food that is okay to share and is edible and is nice. This is like the health department is probably called to his apartment on a regular basis. Like if he had an actual apartment, it was modern day. Oh my god. Sorry. I'm trying not to laugh so hard and just fuck this all up. So before I lose my place. So Athson and Bastion, you have talked. How are you feeling about each other?
He was misunderstood like me. He's still scary, but he's not scary because he's dangerous. He's scary because he could probably still kill me.
I mean, he is a warrior, and he was at one point training to be a Templar, but he gave
Yeah.
that up.
That's okay. Then we're good.
I mean, he's not a Templar now.
That's all that matters.
I think there's a little bit of lingering like hesitation, but Bastion is definitely, I mean, this guy got us through the mirror, and like he needs to be trusting of him. Like it's just a question of a little bit of time for things to like readjust in his head. But he's already like walking in that direction. Like there's a lot less of the rage that was.
Is he still sitting there with us?
Yes.
Okay, good. Maybe he's gonna shove the last of her food in her mouth and take his hand in her other hand, and she's just sitting there happily, like she's got two friends, and it's the best thing in the world. While they stare at the creepy singing old man.
What is Farisa doing in all this?
Probably cleaning.
Stop.
Probably cleaning the last of the carcass. I mean, to be fair, like she is the hunter here, and you took a bunch of meat to cook it, but then you want to smoke some of it for bacon, deal with everything else. So she's like paying attention to everyone else and keeping an eye on them, and just being her quiet self as she's efficiently cleaning this dead animal and preparing meat to smoke and other things, maybe skinning the hide if she can.
Okay, has Mavia actually eaten?
Oh yes, that is done.
I'm sorry, not Mavia, Farisa.
Oh.
I know you.
We kind of don't have to question whether or not Mavia has eaten. We kind of know.
You
it's
know
one of those
what?
intrinsic things.
You know what? I feel judged.
But you are loved.
I think she did, but I think she waited till everyone else ate first. But it was
Okay. So kind of like when like there's a pack of animals and like the strongest one eats last to make sure they can eat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you're chilling, you're trying to get all this meat smoked and everything else. Aiden, beside whistling to yourself, do you approach anyone after you're done eating?
If nobody comes up to me at all while I eat, I'm gonna feel a little sad. And yeah, I would walk back to the group and like sit on the edge of the circle, like try to get close to them without getting into their personal space.
Okay.
And very bland meal. Did you enjoy it?
I feel like you're trying to make conversation. Are you trying to make conversation with us?
I'm trying to make conversation with you.
Has
yes.
it been a very long time since you've talked to somebody?
It's been some time.
Okay. It's not really nice to say the meal was bland. Farisa worked really hard on this.
She just put the meat on a stick above
Hey.
the flame.
Did you kill it? Say thank you to Farisa.
Thank you for the bland meal. It was good.
You're welcome. I'm
You know
sure.
what? This is a yes, but this is a yes and moment. Barisa, you get a free action if you want to respond to that.
A wild saucepan appears.
Oh, fudge! I shouldn't have drank. You made me laugh. I'll be right back. I sprayed stuff all over my...
Oh,
Wouldn't be
no.
the first time. That's what she said.
Yeah,
Well-
Verisa doesn't need to. Verisa doesn't need to do anything. She just kind of looks up, shakes her head, looks over at Mavia, who's apparently making friends and doing Mavia things, and then just takes a moment to evaluate the two new people as she's just continues. And it's pleasant for her.
Okay. All right. Okay, you're alive.
So that was I didn't even do anything to you yet. That was karma, Simon.
Yeah. All right.
I know you want to get the gravelly Batman voice for this character, but you don't have to be a method actor.
Oh, he's not supposed to have a gravely voice.
Do I need to go get PJ to do the Bat husband voice so you can just like lip sync to it?
No, he's not supposed to have a Batman voice.
So Mavia will kind of look at him with her head tilted. And she's like, how long have you been here, old man? Like, were you young when you came in here and now you're just old?
Well, I was younger when I came here, yes.
I mean, well, of course you were younger when you came here. But like, how long ago?
She means to say, were you younger by a day or younger by more than a day?
Like 50 years.
The sun never sets here. It's hard to know how many days have passed, but...
Was your hair white before you came in here?
My hair's white?
All these mirrors and you never noticed.
I was doing a jest. I know my hair's gotten grayer over the years and the stress
Was it
didn't
that
help.
color before you came in here?
Well, it was a bit darker, I'll give it that, but I've never been one to have very, very dark hair.
Where are you from?
Well, are we already moving to personal information? Okay. Things are progressing fast.
She just asks questions, and you just answer them.
But how many?
That there's no answer to that.
Do you have a family? Do you have kids? Where are you from? Like, how long have you been here? What did you do before you came in here?
I did stuff.
I mean, everybody does stuff.
And I needed to take a break from stuff. So I
You did something bad and you ran away. You ran away, didn't you?
I would think it's something good, but yes, I ran away.
I think all of us are running away. We have a common theme here, I think, honestly, everybody.
Well, you're either running away from something or running towards something.
I mean, technically, you're always doing both.
I don't know. I'm not really running towards
Have you ever
anything.
seen a fluffalo?
I have no idea what that is.
I think she means a Drefalo.
I might. Let me just check the Dragon Age wiki.
While Adrian checks the Dragon Age wiki, because apparently the internet is in Thetis and in the Crossroads.
I have indeed seen Druffalos.
Okay, I was gonna say
I couldn't remember what they looked like. That's why.
like a buffalo,
Yeah.
except they have ridiculous armor. So aside from this awkward moment between all of you, it feels like nighttime to you, even though again there's no sun, there's no moon in the Crossroads. Mavia and Verisa, are you kind of going to set up watch, or are you going to just kind of continue to interrogate Aiden? And Aston and Bastian, are you going to try to get to learn each other more? What is everyone doing until you feel the need for sleep?
I mean, Verisa's on watch anyways, and I think she's just kind of gonna gauge if anyone else is going to join them. But it's not that she doesn't. She trusts Mavia to do things, but she trusts Mavia to get information out of people, and she enjoys just sitting there and listening as Mavia interrogates them, because they're apparently like to talk to her.
To be fair, she did not give anybody a choice, honestly.
What is the little kid from Animaniacs?
Wacko?
Wacko.
No, the actual human child. That's like, I love you, bye-bye.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because she calls her mom lady and such.
Yeah.
Elmira, yes.
Elmira, yes. I will love him and squeeze him and call him George.
Yes, I feel like Mavia is the Dacian embodiment of Elmira right now. But at some point, even Elmira and Mavia will run out of questions. So watch. So Verisa's already on watch, and you're smoking meat and doing all that fun stuff. What are the rest of you doing, and what's the watch order?
Essence probably just watching, and not in a way of like the person who's like trying to take notes on how people act but without actually writing it down, because that's probably weirder. Just like, okay, Mavia is the one who talks a lot and she means well, and so she just says whatever she wants. Bastian has a lot of feelings, and if you acknowledge that they exist but you don't push them, then you're fine. Verisa is scary, and Adrian seems to be maybe senile, but I don't even think he's sure. And that's like basically what like Atson's mind process is.
Who's this Adrian?
Sorry, Aiden.
Excuse me.
I goofed.
Damn it.
I goofed. I started the Adrian thing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Too many A's around here. All right, so Verisa, give me a check to see if anything happens on your watch. I'm glad I wasn't drinking anything.
Well, 15, 17.
Surprisingly, nothing happened. You hear the normal kind of scuttering about of more creatures, but nothing that really makes you feel like you have to jump up and like go check and see if there's something near the camp. And your part of watch goes quietly.
What the?
What?
What was that?
What was that?
It wasn't me.
I don't have anything else up on the monitor.
I have
It-
too many tabs. It might have been me by accident.
It could have been the tab of the wiki that's still going.
Could be.
I closed it
Okay.
the moment the sound
Ads.
started, so I don't know.
That was weird, but okay. I mean, that's just it's evening in the crossroads.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. You know what? That was the noise you heard, but it didn't alarm you because
We
it's the
should-
crossroads.
We should. I please stop saying Crossroads, or I'm going to sing the only line I know from that song because it's getting stuck in my head. Please.
Well, I mean, it's what it's called. I can't help it. This is what the area is called.
Maybe it would come up behind Barisa when it's like it's been like 4 hours probably for watch. That's standard.
Yeah.
And she just kind of comes up and taps her on the shoulder.
Mm.
I can take over now. You can go get some sleep.
Enjoy making new friends.
Are there friends to make here?
I thought you already did so.
Well, yes, but they're already my friends. I don't need to make them again.
Interesting. Well, enjoy yourself. I'm going to get some sleep. Shout if you need me.
Okay.
Half asleep, Aiden, hearing Mavia say that, has like a single tear down his nose.
Well, she's counting you. So, oh boy, maybe it gets to roll perception.
Yep.
Now a question, because maybe it has the perception focus searching. Would that apply here?
Yes.
Okay. 10, 13, 15.
Okay, and Varisa got what again? 17?
Yep.
You don't hear anything. You do see some shadows kind of flitting through the weird not trees and the things that look like trees that you haven't all chopped down for firewood and carrying the carcass of the creature. It's weird because there's not really a moon, but you still see shadows. So I leave it up to you if you want to investigate or if you just want to like make note of it and tell the next person on watch.
Tanya, what do you think she's going to do?
I don't know, Kelly. What will Mavia do?
Mavia is going to hop up and she's humming a song to herself. You know what song she's humming to herself. And she is going to wander over a little bit to see if she can see any better what is flitting through the woods.
All right, give me another check, another perception.
She's a danger to herself.
Well, she's the only one awake right now, so.
That's true.
19.
19. Thank you. Stop it. I went to music school. It takes me a while.
Thank you. Stop it.
Mm,
If it's not in time signature format, the numbers are alien.
You also have a double if stun points apply.
No, I don't have a double because it's got to match the one in the square, right?
no, you got 2 4s.
Oh, okay, so it does count. All right, so I have stunt point. I don't know if I have any stunts that would.
I don't know. What does your character sheet say, Kelly?
Oh.
So
Page 133 in the book.
Oh my God.
I can bluff. I have something called a stunt bonus that just says you become adept at instantly noticing the many dimensions of a tricky situation. You can perform that makes me wonder exploration stunt for 2 points instead of 3. But I think I only have 1 point.
You have 6 because that's what the blue die says.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I could do the whole that makes me wonder while she goes over and investigates.
I mean, you could. Now I'm just trying to think of what the shadow could be.
Thinks appropriate. I mean, that's kind of appropriate for this. Like, what's that?
So this is one of those moments where I was like, I want to be a really mean DM, but I'm not going to. So maybe
Look at this face. Can you be mean to this face?
Yes, I'm an only child,
True.
and I've had a cat for 20 years. I'm
That's
no
true.
longer. I'm no longer affected by that. So you see shadows like flitting through these knot trees. And as you investigate it closer, the shape's familiar to you, but there's no way there could be like baby wyverns here because it's the crossroads. You've not seen many living creatures. And why would a wyvern or baby wyvern be just flying around? So you just see the shadows that they're leaving. You don't see the actual creatures yet.
Okay.
Do you investigate closer, or do you go back and wake people up to tell them what you've seen?
How far away am I?
From the shadows and the wyverns.
Mm-hmm.
Since you got up and followed the shadows, no more than 20 feet.
Okay, so I will do the stunt. This is what the stunt says because I had to go look it up on the stunt table.
Okay.
I may immediately make another perception test at no additional cost in time or resources to discover more information about your surroundings or the object of your test.
Okay.
This bonus test must use a different focus from the first test, however, so I couldn't use searching. And
Okay.
doubles on this bonus test do not give rise to stunt points.
Okay.
So I would just have to like probably roll regular perception, I would think, instead of the focus.
Yes. And even if you got doubles, you wouldn't get more stunts.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so you catch the flash of wyvern. I mean, you even though you're a dwarf, you have traveled enough in your adventures to know what a wyvern looks like. A druffalo you've seen now more than once. You know what that looks like, or a fluffalo as you're calling it, but it's really just a druffalo, aka a buffalo that Kelly would know what it looks like.
Looks like a Highland cow.
Basically, but it's got a lot of armor. They're hard to kill. So you get the flash of leathery wing, and they don't seem to be bothering anyone. They're just kind of flying around, almost like it must be nighttime and like bats would be out and about, but it's baby wyverns instead. Because why not? It's where you are. So they're basically acting like bats at night, and they're just flying around.
Okay. So she just kind of watches them for a few minutes with a little smile on her face because she's amused by watching like baby wyverns fly around. And then she would go back to her post to finish her watch. She would not wake anybody up or engage in combat of any kind.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you had like tried to interact with them, they probably would have just flown off.
Yeah.
Because there's normally not other creatures here, and it would have been it's like if you startle wildlife first, and it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Versus if it sees you first.
Yeah. And she probably would have just gone up to me like, where are you from? Where's your mom and dad? Why are you here?
And they would just like squawk at you and then maybe try to make a meal out of you if you startled them.
That's exactly why. She's like, I think discretion's the better part of valor in this situation. She just kind of goes back to her post. But she's not going to wake anybody up because she doesn't want to hurt them.
Yeah. So who is next in the watch?
Bastion, unless Aiden wants to. Of course.
Yeah, but it's up to you.
I mean, how are you feeling?
All right, Aiden will take it because at some point he'll get antsy.
Antsy?
He'll get antsy that people he doesn't know watch over him while he's sleeping, and that's kind of creepy.
Okay, and then it'll be Bastion, and then we're running out of hours, so Bastion or Athson, who would want to take the last watch after Aiden?
I'll take it.
All right, and Athson, how do you feel about that?
It works for me. He's fine taking a watch, but he doesn't feel like he's the most perceptive person. So it's more like if everyone else is asleep, I'll do it.
Okay. All right, Aiden, give me some checks to see if anything you see on your watch.
Perception searching.
Yep.
There you go. I got a 15.
All right, so you also notice the wyverns' shadows, but again, you just notice the shadows flitting around. It doesn't look like any are coming towards you or going away. They're just, like from what you remember of not being in the crossroads, it reminds you of the movement of bats. So do you want to do anything now that you've noticed these shadows, or are you just going to kind of observe?
Do I notice only like the shadows, or do I also see the creature that makes that shadow?
You would have to move forward like Mavia did to see if you see the actual creature.
Oh, I'll move forward.
Okay, move forward, and since Mavia had to give me another roll, give me a perception roll, another one.
Yeah, that would be a 6, 10, 13.
Okay, so you notice one or two baby wyverns kind of darting around and through these strange trees that you've discovered in the crossroads. But again, they just seem to be minding their business, or doing their usual nocturnal thing. They're not concerned with the strange people that have showed up around where they normally just fly around. Now the question is, are you going to leave them alone, or are you going to go investigate further?
Would I think that these creatures would be dangerous?
I don't know, would you? You tell me, it's your character.
They're baby wyverns.
Yeah.
I'll get a little closer. Hello,
Okay.
babies.
Are you talking to them?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you speak, a couple like they swoop around, and then a couple land, and you know like how birds can be curious about you, but they don't get super close, almost like ducks and geese, where although geese is a bad example because geese will fuck you up. But like birds that land, like city pigeons almost.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like, where'd you come from? But they're baby wyverns, so unless you can speak Draconic, that's not going to help you much. So they like kind of just like peer their heads and do the like head bob thing and just stare at you because you actually talk to them.
You're living here, I take it. That's nice.
The wyverns do not understand trade.
I know, but I get to talk to someone.
So the wyvern just kind of keeps his distance. It keeps like, it's almost like it's sniffing the air, almost like a, not a snake, but like, you know, like a creature is like, is this prey? Is it going to eat me? What is it? So it's doing like the weird little head bob that birds do. Like, I don't know about you.
Well, he would spend at least 5 minutes talking to them.
Okay.
Just asking if everything is alright and how do they like it here. I might be going home soon, and this feels right this time.
And the wyverns could not care less because they can't understand a word you're saying.
I know. And he's gonna go back to camp and rouse everyone.
You're waking everyone over
Yes.
the wyverns. Okay. Everyone, what do you do when you are roused from your sleep?
Maybe it
Bruce-
jumps up and says, "I didn't take it." What?
Okay.
Verisa grabs a weapon, assuming that there's an actual threat that needs to be dealt with.
Astrid looks angry.
And Aiden has come back and woken everyone in camp.
Why?
While I was standing watch, I saw something I thought might interest all of you.
Is it the baby wyverns?
Yes, it's a pair of baby wyverns. Why didn't you wake me when you found them then?
Because I was leaving them alone.
They're not very talkative, but...
They were eating.
Oh, maybe. I only saw them flying. But you told me to wake you up if I saw anything, and I saw something. Hence, I woke you up.
Okay. Verisa, please don't shoot them.
Are there supposed to be wyverns here?
That's a good question.
I mean, it looks to me like, I mean, I don't know anything about any of this stuff, but it looks to me like really nothing's supposed to be here. We all just ended up here.
Maybe they did. And end up here just to help us.
Which means they're alone, so you should just not kill them.
I wasn't going to kill the baby wyverns
Okay,
until you told me that it was a threat.
it's
If it was a
not.
threat, then I would kill it. It's not a threat, I'm not going to kill it.
They're probably eating the bugs that would bother us.
Maybe.
There are bugs.
I don't know.
No.
I haven't really seen any on my time here, but they have to eat something to survive.
Did you want us to go look at them? Is that why you woke us?
They're very cute.
No, it's just I woke you because there was something and I thought you should know.
So wait, you woke us up, but we're not doing anything about it.
Well, now you know you can do something about it, but
But what would... Is there any sign of anything bigger than the baby wyverns?
Maybe is shaking her head no.
I don't know if that should be problematic.
Huh.
I can go back and check. I think I've made friends with them.
Aiden, would you like me to come with you?
Why, I would be thrilled, friend.
Okay. You can all go back to sleep. It's okay. I'll take care of it. Go back to I don't sleep that much. It's okay.
I feel like he might accidentally get you killed.
No, I would push him in front of me.
Wow, she just said that.
Listen, I can keep a straight face until Gabe starts laughing. I can even keep it with Tanya, but
I can protect myself, and I'm pretty sure I can protect another person as well.
I'm going to assume that we have to be up shortly. I'm going to go and get
you have like another hour and a half.
Exactly. If something tries to come and eat us, then, just yell there, that deal.
Oh, I will be
Shoot it
yelling
a
because
lot.
I'll probably be eaten already. So I'll be like, help, help, come help me. Don't worry.
Somebody tell me we have coffee.
No,
We will have coffee in an hour and a half when we get up.
go back to sleep, Bastian.
He actually is just going to try and ignore everything and just roll over and turn away from everybody.
Go back to sleep, Bastian. Okay.
Everyone just seems to listen to you.
The more she talks,
She'll look around to see if people are sleeping yet.
if he's not quiet, Asim will literally just say, if you listen to her, she stops.
Marisa looks like she's sleeping.
You know what? I think this is a perfect place for us to take a break and for Aiden to maybe get eaten by wyverns. Who knows?
He's dead.
Come back in a few minutes and find out. Or if everyone kills him for waking them up. Either way, hopefully Aiden lives to the end of this episode.
Wow.
So come back in a few minutes. Please go stretch, get water, get meds if you need it. If you've not eaten, please get a snack. Consult your local Mavia for some bacon or some jerky. I'm going to go see what I have for a snack and some non-alcoholic beverage because I need my wits about me with these shenanigans. So see you in a few minutes.
Be right back, everyone.
We're back.
For real, for real?
For real,
Yes.
for real.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
all here for real.
Hey.
Oh boy. Hi, how's everyone doing? I hope you had a good break. You stretched, you got water, you got snacks. Maybe I have snacks, but sadly I cannot reach across the screen and get a Rice Krispie treat because I really want one now that she has one. When we went to break, Aiden had woken everyone to wonder at the baby wyverns, and maybe has gone with him to go talk to the baby wyverns, and everyone else is in theory going back to sleep.
I think should we remind chat what was said right before we went?
You remind chat what did you all say right before you went to break?
They all seem to listen to you.
And then Atson said,
That's because if you listen, she stops talking.
and then she'll just kind of smile and wait until people seem to have settled back down a little.
Okay.
And then she'll look up at Aiden and she's like, let's walk then.
They were this way.
I know. I saw them too.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're walking and she's got her hands behind her back. She's like, they don't really listen to me, but I found that if you're the funny one, people are a lot less likely to hurt you. Especially if you're a little weird. And she just keeps walking with him.
Aiden, do you have anything to say to that?
We're very perceptive.
I learn quick.
You know why I'm taking you away from camp then, don't you?
Probably.
To
But
look at the baby
also-
wyverns. Look, they're all over here.
I know they're over there. Also, if you had tried anything, I would have stabbed you right in the bits that you probably still can use.
Why would I try anything?
Let's go look at the baby wyverns. And she just kind of walks by him.
Do I look like a murderer?
No, but you tried to be creepy, so I gave you a taste of your own medicine. And she walks over and just starts cooing at them from like a safe distance. She's probably talking to them like I talk to the bunnies on my midnight walk with Scotty, which is, who's a good boy then? You are. That's on his face. Yes, I do talk to the bunnies and the skunk. I call the raccoon an asshole though, because he's like 40 pounds and just sits there and stares at you.
No, that was just like, this just took a turn I was not prepared for. I was just sitting here and suddenly we're off the road. We're careening down a cliff and I'm like, what is happening? So I was like, is this gonna have to be like the DM has to kill you to keep you from being a creeper on?
Yeah, that was a little weird, Simon, just so you know. I wasn't planning on threatening to, do very bad things to Aiden, but yeah,
I
that
was just trying to make a joke. I failed horribly at it.
You did fail horribly at it. Leave the jokes to me.
All right.
Leave the jokes to me. What are you good at, Aiden? Let's look at the wyverns and talk about you. What are you good at?
Being creepy.
You're not here, Bastion.
I am very good at elf.
At elf, like being an elf or talking elf or what?
I'm a historian of sorts.
Oh, okay. Okay. So were you a librarian before you came here?
No.
Do you remember what you were before you came here?
It's not like I have dementia or anything. I'm not that old.
I mean, you look pretty old, but I mean, I don't know how long you've been here. So what did you do before you came here, Aiden?
I used to live in Starkhaven. Do you know where
I don't-
Starkhaven is?
Not a clue. And in between all this, she's just cooing it and making baby talk at the wyverns.
Is
Is it near Skyhold? I know where Skyhold is.
I have no idea what Skyhold is. What about the free marches? Are the free marches still a thing?
Tanya, the free march is still a thing. Oh God, I dropped my Rice Krispie treat.
Yes. So out of character, the free marches are very much a thing. Mavia may or may not have come across the free marches since you don't know where Kirkwall is.
Mhm.
From Skyhold, it would be a several week journey by boat, and by land probably a month, if not more, even on horses. Because I'm trying to visualize the map, and Starkhaven's like Starkhaven, the Menancer is like across the sea.
Okay, yeah.
From
So
where
maybe it would not
Skyhold is.
know. Yeah, she would not know.
Yeah, it's close to Kirkwall, but even from Kirkwall, I think it's a couple days.
It's more like a week, I think, from Kirkwall
Yeah.
on foot, on horseback, maybe 4 days. Now I feel like I need to find the map, but keep talking.
Mhm.
Because we have a map of Kirkwall, and I'm going to look at it.
So maybe it just goes. I don't know. Do you know where Orzammar is?
I know of Orzammar. I've never been myself. It's
You'd hit your head on the doors. I don't recommend it.
Hmm.
That's where I'm from.
I figured you were either from Orzammar or any other settlement, really.
Mhm.
Maybe not the Dales, but the Dales are where elves live.
Now, would he even would he know? Because I don't cover that tattoo anymore. Would he know what that is? That's the question.
Only if he knows dwarven culture, because most non-dwarves probably would not know what that means unless there's someone like a merchant
mean,
or an assassin.
I don't have a focus in dwarven culture, but like I can try just a like general cultural lore check. And like Kelly, give me a number to beat to know about it, or Tanya.
26.
That's not even possible. Jesus.
I know.
3d6, not 3d20. I'm going to make this difficult for you.
Mhm.
Out of 3d6, the highest you can get is an 18. You need to beat a 15.
I have a 13. I have no idea what you're talking. What this face tattoo
Nope.
is.
You just
Okay.
think it's a nice looking
It's a
tattoo.
face tattoo. Yep.
So, were you just like a librarian then, or did you like fight people?
I wasn't allowed to touch the books back at the circle.
Oh, I understand that. They never let me touch anything either.
They were afraid I would make copies of them.
Yeah, that's what they were afraid of with me too.
See, I knew we were quite alike, you and I. Albeit, I doubt that you can do any magic.
No.
I'd be surprised unless dwarves changed so much while I was away, which would be very, very strange.
So I'm going to say that she keeps talking to him and keeps him occupied for at least another 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then I would assume the wyverns probably, when it starts getting daytime, the wyverns would probably start buggering off.
Yeah, they head toward what you're guessing is probably their nest, their lair, maybe caves. And no one who knows Dragon Age lore better than me, please don't yell at me about wyverns. I don't know if they're actually nocturnal or not, since you fight them at any point in the game. But for the sake of the story, they're nocturnal and they're going the fuck to sleep once daylight hits. Daylight.
Oh, look at that. It's daytime. We should go wake up everybody else.
But can you let me wake them up? Maybe, just maybe. But
Sure.
you're a bit,
Do I have something on
you're a
my
little
face?
creepy.
Oh, this is not the vibe I'm going for.
Yeah, it's the vibe you're giving.
Oh,
It is why I threatened to stab you.
I thought that was a joke.
Oh no, if you had actually tried anything, it was not a joke.
I would not have tried.
I know now. Now I know you're just a librarian. It's okay. But yeah, just maybe try less for the creepy and more with the how are you? I'm fine. My name is Aiden. I like books. I am from a place far away and I want to go home. That kind of thing.
I will try my best.
Okay. She kind of wanders back to camp and she has learned her lesson in the past, so she touches Varisa's shoulder with the toe of her boot from as far away as she can get to wake her up.
Verisa is up and aware, but she's not violent towards the person who woke her up. That's someone else, and she just kind of looks at you, nods, and just like picks a pebble and chucks it from a distance at Bastion.
I mean, I
Knowing
was
that-
going to be nicer than that, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, but remember, he gets very cranky when you wake him up.
I mean,
And
he's always
upon being struck by said pebble, just
Like in the middle of his back, kind of thing. Not in his face, but like.
kind of has a whole ah.
You're fighting the air again. It's not trying to hurt you.
Coffee.
Wake up. And then she would go to Aston, and she doesn't know how he reacts to being woken up, so she just kind of crouches down next to him and like touches him really gently.
What?
It is time to wake up.
Do we have to?
Behold, the sun has risen.
Oh, okay, that's right. I should just do what you say. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you? I am
Hello.
Aiden.
Well, I knew that.
And maybe is trying not to grimace. She's doing the same kind of smile that Chrissy Teigen does in that gif that everybody uses. And she's just like,
Hello, Aiden. I am Athson.
Where are you from, Aiden?
Oh, is Starkhaven still a thing?
Been in here a long time, huh?
No, I just want to know what happened to Starkhaven.
To my knowledge, Starkhaven still is a thing.
Oh,
It-
okay.
Kirkwall and the Chantry is what blew up.
Kirkwall blew up.
I told you that last episode.
I didn't remember last episode.
Yes. Gentleman we are looking for became slightly frustrated with the Chantry and boom.
Oh, must be a very nice person.
Well, he's possessed at the moment, so there's that.
Spirit or demon?
Undetermined?
Huh.
Question for the group. Once everyone is kind of up and awake and there's coffee going on the campfire, things have smoked overnight and you're parceling it out, is anyone trying to look for either a sign of Anders, a sign of peril, or a Zalanis? What are you trying to get done once
I think
everyone is
for-
awake?
I think it's one of those, Marisa, as she's talking, has put like the coffee on, like, because she's just pulling in the stuff out of her pack and just like put the coffee on and is looking to see if she can, with more light, see if there's any trail beyond that pool of blood, because it's, or if there's anyone else around, if there are any other tracks, anything else she can find.
Okay. Whenever you're ready to, give me a search roll.
While she's rolling, is there a way to know if an Illuvian has been used recently?
You would have to either be Dalish, probably a keeper, or use blood magic, or both.
Okay.
18.
You do find what seems to be footprints that you missed the night before, and they're leading away from this puddle of blood. And from what you can see, whoever tracked through that puddle or was still bleeding you find their tracks going off in the distance toward what looks to be like either another alluvian, because that's all you see around you, or you just, for now, you're seeing footprints and blood spatter from whoever this is that is trailing away, and you don't know if they wandered through at some point and you just missed it earlier, or at some point when everyone was actually asleep, they passed through, but they passed through so quietly it didn't wake anyone.
Yeah, she'd start packing up and letting everyone else get themselves together. Say, well, we have a trail of someone to search for.
All right. Are you all going to follow Verisa, or what are you doing?
I vote follow.
I mean, I would follow Verisa. I mean, Verisa's not really led us wrong before, so.
Okay. So you all are following Verisa, and I should look at the right map because I was looking at the map of Thetis because I'm smart. So you follow Verisa, and actually you kind of go over that little bit of mountain that you see on the map, and you look down, and there's alluvians, but they're not as tight together as the ones where you've seen them, and there's more real-looking trees. And you're still following this trail, and it's kind of leading down. Like, it's not dangerous. It's a little bit of a slope, but you climb over. There's still the blood trail, and you find what looks kind of like an oasis, but the blood trail's still there. It's not hard to find. And on the other side of the oasis, where you'd have to walk around it or you'd have to swim through it, is another intact glowing alluvian, meaning someone probably has gone through it recently, or at least activated it with magic of some kind. But it's going to be a little way if you walk around, or if anyone wants to try swimming, although you don't know what's in the water. It could be a thing if you try to swim.
There could be sharks. I think we should walk.
I think, Verisa, you know the most about this place. Is the water worth testing?
Tell them there's sharks.
I cannot say there are sharks because I don't know, but they can't say that there aren't sharks because I don't know. But I would say that we should test the water because that's one of the few things that we're going to need to make sure we have plenty of.
Yeah, your canteens will probably run out in a few days if you don't get more water.
Bastion is going to walk down. I mean, I'm assuming that his pack is going to be left with the others, and because we don't want it to get wet unnecessarily, of course. And he's going to walk down and take out his canteen and try and, fill it with some water, see what happens.
All right. I mean, it's real water.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is the shark gonna, the whole draws thing and...
Does he need a bigger boat?
I mean, they could just be baby sharks.
No.
Okay, that song, don't get it stuck in my head.
I didn't. What song? I'm just saying, it's a small lake. There might be baby sharks, like little baby lake sharks.
But drink some of the water.
Yeah, check the water.
It
Do
just
you
tastes
die?
like normal water, I assume.
Give me a search or perception roll.
Oh.
Can I roll natural lore?
Sure. I should make Kelly roll just for the baby shark thing.
I mean, I'll do it.
That wasn't good. 14.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not
16.
It's not terrible.
16.
Okay, so the water's potable. It doesn't taste weird, but it's not like a babbling fresh spring brook.
Mm-hmm.
But it is potable, and if it was boiled and left to cool, it'd be even better.
Mm-hmm.
But you can safely put it in your canteen. You can safely drink it. You don't feel weird after drinking it. Granted, where you are is kind of weird, but at least you found drinkable water, so you may want to fill canteens and whatnot.
Smart.
I fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you fail?
Phil.
Okay, I thought you said fail. I was like, no, the water's okay.
I
I mean,
thought
I
he
can trip
said
into it, but
I thought he said hi Phil, and I was super confused. I was just gonna be like,
All right, so all of you, if you want, you can fill your
Oh,
canteen.
definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This works.
You know, you were smart. You knew you were going to the Alluvion. And granted, you didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but you would have like your basic adventure gear, so you can last at least what you think is a week, if not more, depending on how you hunt and if you find more water. So after you get water and fill canteens, and you know if anyone wants to bathe because it has been a whole day, you know the water's not toxic, it didn't taste weird, didn't taste funny. Or if you don't want to lose the trail, you can keep going.
I mean, maybe I would want to keep going.
Yeah.
agree.
She's smelled a lot worse in her life than she does right now.
Okay.
Verisa just fills up and is focused and hunting.
All right, Verisa, you lead everyone. Is everyone following Verisa?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So everyone's following Verisa, and you come to this activated alluvion. Do you go through it?
Can we see on the other side?
Yeah, I was
Or
gonna
is
say.
it like Stargate? Because I don't remember in the game if you saw on the other side or not.
One of you would have to probably touch it, and out of character as DM note, usually they just look kind of ripply, almost like soap bubbles until someone touches it. And I believe in the lore, you have to really concentrate on where you want to go. So in theory, if someone was able to, either as a mage or a blood mage, or a Dalish elf as Verisa is, like if Verisa touched it and thought really, really hard about the Dales and going home, it's possible it could work. It's also possible it could not work because I'd make you roll for it. So until someone touches it and gives me a roll, you're not quite sure what it says, but you know that you recognize the glowing kind of hypnotic look to it where someone clearly has activated this recently, and the blood does trail through the mirror.
I've been in here for a long time. Would you mind if I touch it?
I mean, I don't
What-
care. I don't know what it does, so.
It's a way out.
Oh, I would not send us all on that other side. I just want to test a theory of mine.
Okay.
And then whoever else wants to go somewhere, I'm really, really would like to go back to Thedas. But professional curiosity, call it that.
What is your profession?
I'm
He's a librarian.
a student of ancient lore.
Yeah.
He's a librarian. But they don't let him touch the books because I think he's pretty bad at it.
All right, so what are you all doing? Are you letting Aiden touch the alluvion or no?
Yeah. See what he does.
I
It's
think
just
Versa
to
does.
satisfy a curiosity of Aiden. He's gonna touch the alluvion and concentrate very, very hard on the Black City.
Okay.
He wants to
And-
know if it's possible to reach it through an alluvion.
Okay.
Can we see what he's when he activate if he gets to activate it? Can we see what he's opening to? I can't
Well,
remember.
It's already active, and
but like
when you're asking, can you two see the Black City?
yeah, because like I can't remember if the person who activates it or not activates it, but like targets it, can the other people see what the target is when he does so?
Well, I think you would see it if I succeed. Because if I
Okay.
fail, it's not gonna do anything.
Because all I can remember right now is Dragon Age Origins, because that's the one I'm replaying, and no one else but the person who's touching the mirror can see what's through the mirror in Origins. But I don't remember if that's what it is in Inquisition as well.
No, because I think when Morgan touches the mirror, the Inquisitor and everyone else can see, like, oh, there's Skyhold.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of the lore did shift. So, Aiden, I'm sending you a message really quick before I ask you to roll.
Sure.
The rest of you, while you watch Aiden approach the mirror, what are you doing? Because I'm sure, Athson, you may have ideas about this.
Athens's probably trying to figure out. I don't know if any Illuvian stuff would work with trying to locate who they're looking for, because he doesn't know him well enough. He doesn't know Anders really.
Right. Well, right now Aiden isn't trying to find Anders. It looks like he's trying to summon something else. Summon another location. Not necessarily where you trying to go or who you're trying to find. So Aiden, what I asked you, does everyone else know that, or is that a secret?
I haven't told anyone about that. Well, not in the party anyway.
Okay. I just want to be sure. Give me a roll with advantage of... Okay, what would this be? Would it be a lore check or searching or perception?
I don't know.
Let me look at your character sheet really quick, cause...
Yeah, because I mean, I know lore, some lore.
So you or the character?
No, I meant the character knows like some lore because of his foci, but
a cultural... Now you've got searching, so you searching for this?
Yep.
Because you are searching for the Black City.
Yep. So searching?
Yep.
That's a 15.
As Aiden touches the Illuvian, those of you that have either studied magic, know of magic, or have heard of the Fade, see the mirror change to a faded green like a storm, and a black city kind of just floating in the distance. So that's what you see when Aiden touches the mirror.
Slap his hand. Why?
Or like away from the mirror?
Yes.
You see his face is like frozen in fear. And he's like, it's not supposed to be that easy.
Don't do that.
Why are we trying to get to the Fade?
What's the Fade?
Where the Darkspawn come from?
Can we not?
Like I said, professional curiosity. I didn't think it would work.
That's a bad reason, because then the times that it does, you don't get an excuse.
But
maybe
you know what that means.
Well, your hand has been slapped away from the mirror, and it goes still again. Because no one should go in the Fade right now, especially not from here. It'll be very bad. I'm just telling you as the GM. This will be...
No, I didn't want anyone to go. Like, Aiden wasn't sure if it was possible to do it. Now he knows, and it's... Whoa.
You left the door open. That was scary. Don't do that.
Atson, is that a bad place?
It's a... Yes.
Okay. So Mavia will walk over to Aiden and like pull him away from the mirror a little bit and do this.
In trouble now?
Like to lean down.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then she's going to smack him.
Ow!
What did I tell you? You're not only making decisions for yourself right now, librarian.
I've been in here for a very long time without the possibility to try one of these things.
Yes, but maybe don't send us to a bad place.
I wasn't going to send any.
Think of a spa.
I wasn't going to send anyone, least of all myself.
Oh, well, that's comforting.
I don't
Adson,
want...
can you get us out of here to someplace not that?
Where would
Hopefully
you like?
towards Anders if you have any way of helping us track him.
I mean, he saw the blood. I'm assuming it was Anders' blood.
Well,
Yeah, I can certainly try. So can I try to link the Illuvian with like the blood that we have from Anders? Like, is that something I can at least attempt to do?
You could. So is that what you want to do? Like, because you all touched and examined the blood. I don't know if anyone kept some of the blood. For ease of storytelling, we can say some of you kept the blood.
I figure Verisa probably did. She's going to need it to track things.
So a phylactery light, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, because we did talk about a phylactery last game.
Yeah, and we talked about things, and it's like, oh well, blood trail. You want okay? That would not bother her to do.
Right. So Athson or Harissa, are you going to work together to try and do this?
Sure.
I think like if Athson asks for it, Verisa would give it to him.
Yeah. Just because to try have something to channel with while trying to connect to the Illuvian, because if they're not sure exactly where Anders went, the best connection would be to Anders himself.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to try and do this, we have Anders' blood. That seems to work for you. Would that work better?
That should be fine, I'd say.
Would the fact that he's a warden be at all a concern?
A little, but
I mean, considering someone just opened a door to the Black City, I'm thinking about these things in my head now. Yes, Aiden, we are talking about you at the moment.
too late to overthink now.
Well, I'll just be prepared to kill anything that's not Anders then. And not any of you. Don't worry, I'm not killing any of you.
You see him let out like an inhale that he was holding in.
Okay.
And then he'll a little Nick take the blood from Anders and then try to a little gross, like probably a small blend of the two to then wipe on the Illuvian.
So kind of like taking your thumb and doing that.
Yeah.
Are you doing an incantation or is this mostly internal as you're doing this?
Probably an incantation out loud this time. The verbalization, probably like using it to try to have more of a clear sense of what he's doing. Actually trying to focus as much as he can.
Okay. Role play that out for us.
All right. So then a little bit of the vial from where the blood of Anders is kind of like floats out, and then there's a nick on like the finger of Athson, and it almost like makes like a soft imprint on top, and then a wipe across the Illuvian, and he starts to chant a few words, and there's almost like a low rumble to his voice talking about essence of my own and essence of another, help us find a way to each other. And then the blood will probably get a slight glow as he's channeling his magic through it.
Okay. And are you touching, other than the smear of blood, are you still touching the Illuvian?
Yes.
Okay. As you're chanting and giving this incantation, the Illuvian kind of wavers, and you see what looks to be at least Thetis, if you don't know exactly where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a crumpled form on the ground. They're not moving. From this distance, you can't tell if they're breathing, but you do see strands of reddish blonde hair. and a staff that seems to have been dropped on the way to them kind of collapsing. So it looks like you may have found Anders.
I'll
Does he have-
describe the figure and ask if this is the one they're looking for.
I mean, probably. Does it look human?
From this distance it does.
You wouldn't happen to have had like one of these, and she'll like pull one of her arrows out and kind of show off the fletching off the
Oh my
back of it.
God. Is there an arrow in this person?
I mean, she shot him.
True, but at this point, he would have had time to like get the arrow out and
Exactly.
healer.
Yeah, there's that.
So you don't see an arrow just sticking out of him, but you know from the robes and the reddish blonde hair, because you did get a glimpse of Anders. Well, you got a very long look at Anders before you went through the Illuvian. Everyone else, from your description, you would know that it's him.
Yeah.
But again, it's like he's collapsed on the ground, probably either from blood loss or maybe he finally healed himself. That took so much out of him. He's like passed out rather than asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So he like stumbled around, probably healed himself, dropped his staff. And, you know, you can't quite tell because it's hazy because you're looking through the Illuvian. It looks like he's probably set up like camp somewhere and is trying to just get himself together. But at some point, blood loss or using his own mana and life force to heal overtook him because he is a spirit healer.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this may be the one you're looking for, and haste makes waste, so to speak.
Yes, indeed. Me than you, Bastion?
Huh?
Me than you?
Sure.
I figure.
I mean, if look, I don't mind going in first. If he's gonna swing, I know I can take it, but up to you.
I don't think he'll have the energy to swing.
No,
Well.
but we've been surprised before. Better prepared than not. And she'll, like, kind of touch the mirror as if to go through.
yeah. So because of what Alston did, and it's basically it's like passing through, kind of like when you're on a water ride, but it's a little more viscous, almost like you're. It's weird because it's like you're passing through like jelly or Vaseline, but it doesn't stick to you. It's just a very weird sensation as you're passing through.
And Verisa is on high alert the minute she's through to make sure there's no one else here other than the unconscious individual. Because she's paranoid.
And it served her well. That's why she's still alive. So yeah, so you all go through.
I passed through the Vaseline, yes.
The Vaseline, the Valisline, the Illuvian, it's all different sounds. So you get through and you hear like a faint pop as the Illuvian deactivates behind you once everyone's through. And the person that you see laying on the ground, clearly a very tall human. And from what you can see, if they heard anything, because the Illuvian doesn't make a lot of noise, but there are a bunch of you and you can't be that quiet. So if there's any indication that this person knows you're there, they're not reacting, they're not moving. It looks like they basically just hit the ground where they landed and that's where they are. So what are you all doing? For those of you that know exactly who Anders is, and for our two new members of the party, all you know is that you're looking for this Anders guy.
Reese is gonna go and tie him up and then try and see if he needs medical attention.
Are you sure it's Anders?
Well, she's gonna go up to the figure and see who it is, determine
Okay,
if it's Anders, then tie them up, flip them over, and if it isn't, then possibly give him medical attention.
Yeah, I was gonna be real dirty and make you roll for it to see if it was even Anders, but that would be mean.
I mean, I can if you want me to, but
no, because that would just be dirty. That would be like the DM's being an asshole kind of thing. Because after all this, after a season and a couple episodes, you should find him at some point. There's more to do, trust me.
But maybe Anders was the friendship we found along the way.
No.
What?
No.
All right. I cast Crushing Prison on him.
No, you don't. Stop it.
Oh my god, if you did Crushing Prison in his current state, he would like immediately die. And
No,
Fenris
but
would have words for you.
I already a heal spell.
And Mavia, who does not do any magic but has seen magic done, is going to rip off a part of the hem of her shirt and gag him.
Okay.
Gag who?
Anders.
Well, first, Verisa
Not
has
you.
gone over. And you kind of turn him, like you heal, like you use the toe of your boot to kind of like nudge. There's no response. He's out cold. You all could ragdoll him off a cliff like in Skyrim. He would not move or know anything.
Just yeet Anders. End of game.
Like it was
Yeah,
good. It was a
no.
fun 2-episode season. It was good.
Bye.
Yeah, no, Verisa's assuming Verisa doesn't want him dead. Verisa wants him very much alive because he's the one who went through first, so he's the one with the most information on where Zalanis and Harold are. And probably the person that we need alive to get us paid because Fenris did hire us to find him alive. So she's just going to tie him up.
Right,
Kind
and
of
Fenris,
like you would do with
Yeah.
a deer over a hole. When
You're
you
gonna hog tie him.
transport
Yeah.
it. Uh-huh.
well, is anyone going to check him for his injuries first before you start tying him up?
I will.
No, she's going to tie him up and then check him for injuries.
All right. Well, are you gonna like face down, face up? 'Cause it's not like there's an easy way to hog tie him over a pole. He is like over a 6 foot tall human.
You tie his wrists to his ankles
his
behind
ankles.
his back.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do this.
This is
and
going
then-
right back to all the creepy information I have about blood. Yes.
I'm just gonna. So I'm just gonna let that go. We're just gonna run with it. So yeah, you found Anders, but he is out, and like he was already not particularly ruddy as it was, and he's lost blood, so he's looking very pale, and his escape has taken a toll on him. But when you check him over, he doesn't have a lot of visible scarring, so he probably used his own healing ability on himself, which is why he's not dead. As much blood as you found, he probably actually should be dead. So yeah, you have now found and hogtied Anders.
And
There is
gagged him.
And gagged him. And there is a working alluvian nearby that at least for some of you will work to your whims. So you found Anders, but he's unconscious. What do you do?
Is he hurt?
His robes are a little bit bloody, but it's like that you got cut, you bled on yourself, and you bandaged yourself and it stopped before it got really bad, but your clothes are still stained. So it's like clearly he was hurt at one point, but you don't see any obvious scars, but there are patches on his clothing that look like rust colored from dried blood, but you don't see anywhere where he's obviously bleeding.
Okay. Well, I approached my hand up to Anders, looking at Verissa, and I said, "Do you mind if I try to make him feel better?"
I don't know. I want him alive. I need to talk to him. But, he did blow up the chantry. And he is a warden, so
And we have to bring him back.
Well,
alive.
So
Because
far,
I
you've
want
given
money.
me 3 reasons to heal him.
I mean, by all means.
I just would like to know where my keeper is. Also, our friend Harold.
Are you all technically bounty hunters?
I'm gonna heal Anders.
We're heroes.
Depending on your... Yeah.
Sebastian, we're heroes.
Okay, at least you're honest.
What did you roll for?
Heal.
Okay, I wasn't gonna make you roll the heal because he's unconscious.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
not-
I still have to beat target number. Oh, mind you, even if I roll all ones, it doesn't matter. I succeed anyway.
Okay, well,
it's
how
the
much?
intent. So
Alright.
I spent 2 mana on it, so that would just be 2d6.
Okay. I do have a character sheet for Anders.
That would be 7
Nice.
hit points.
Okay, so he's kind of he's kind of healed, but he's still not with it. Like he may be mumbling, but he's not conscious enough for anyone to interrogate him right now. So this is the GM giving the players a choice, especially since we don't have an episode next week. Do you want to try and wait and see, can you interrogate Anders a bit, or do you want to try to get back to where Fenris was, or get back to Skyhold?
I think Verisa would vote for trying to get back to Fenris.
I think, yeah, I would vote for getting back to Fenris and Skyhold because they seem to know what they were doing, and also they have the money to pay me.
Well, more important. Okay, so just for as a player clarification, where Anders is, where we are right now, are we still in the crossroads or are we in Thetis?
You are now back in Thetis.
Okay.
Because like that is something you're going to notice once you are done focusing on the fact that you've now found Anders. You're like, oh, the grass is normal. I hear normal daytime sounds, even though it was close to like midday by the time you went through the Soluvian, because you had to walk for a bit, and I'm guessing you stopped for lunch at some point, or you ate on the way. So the sounds you're hearing are from much earlier in the day than you thought it would be.
Can we recognize where we are?
All of you give me perception. And based on who gets the highest roll, I will let you know.
I'm rolling like crap today.
I can
14.
perceive the broadside of a barn.
15.
Athson?
9.
14.
9.
Okay.
Not
Thank
worth
you.
mentioning.
Wow. Okay, so Mavia, because Mavia is not that deeply invested in... She's not that deeply invested in, like, hurting Anders or anything. She doesn't want... Basically, Mavia's like, okay, we found this guy, pay us. And I made friends along the way.
Get me back to where they feed me 5 times a day. Thank you very much.
Basically, so you look around and you actually notice the Inquisition's banners, like, leading up to a road. You're not sure where the road is, so it could be leading to Skyhold or it could be leading somewhere else. But you do recognize the banner of the Inquisition on a road a little way away.
Verisa.
Yes.
Verisa. Isn't that Fenris's flag?
It is indeed.
Maybe we should go that way.
Hmm.
I think
Well-
it's probably safer than going back through the mirror.
And I'm sure they can send a message to wherever Fenris and...
Well, we could
The
be
others
really
are?
close.
We are very close, and we should probably make our way towards there.
I know it may sound strange, but we talking about the same Inquisition that was formed ages ago by the Chantry?
No?
But also, yes?
Was this
Not by
one
the Chantry.
formed by the Chant?
I have no idea. I'm just saying yes because she's trying to involve herself in the conversation.
So, Aiden, you've been in there long enough that you've never seen that. And she just kind of points at the giant green glowing thing in the sky.
Oh, Maker, what is this?
That would be the focus of the Inquisition.
Like, wow.
And I do not know magic, so I cannot tell you what that is.
He's gonna turn to Atsen for a moment. And say, were you aware of the...
Yes, but I didn't realize you'd been in there that long.
I don't think it's been that long. What year are we?
942 dragon.
Thank you.
I had to think about it. So
I was like, wait, I
basically,
know you have it.
so the Inquisitor that Aiden would know would also have been an elf, but definitely not Fenris. And it would have been that Elven Inquisitor would have basically been one of the Seekers, like Cassandra. So I gave the players a link to the Inquisitor that Aiden would know of, but definitely not Fenris. So it's been a while.
Yeah, but this is like Aiden wouldn't know that person personally. Like he would just have read about him before.
It depends if he was still alive. Like if he was if a Meriden had been the Inquisitor before he went into the Crossroads, he would know of a Meriden. Just kind of like now people know of the Inquisition.
Okay.
And they know Fenris is the Inquisitor. So it'd be like oral history. He would know who a Meriden is, but he would have no clue about the current Inquisition, and that it's really a break from the Chantry, kind of like Christian schisms in faith, kind of same thing, versus the Chantry led one he knew.
You said 942 dragon?
I believe
Yes.
that's when Inquisition starts, yes. Or is happening.
The handout you give us is 941, but whatever you want.
941. It's it's like 2020. You feel like it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's been
84 years. No, it's not.
I've been gone for too long, I think.
Is too long in years, decades, or centuries?
Decades, I'm thinking, but
Yeah, let me check. We said 941.
yeah.
Well, if every age is flat 100 years,
Yeah.
he's been gone for 65 years.
Yep. So decades.
Decades. I've been lost in there, and he points to the Alluvian, for quite some time, it seems.
Horrible.
I will follow you if you would have me. I don't think I have a home to go back to, nor would they accept me. So long as you're not with the Chantry, we shouldn't have any problem.
Oh. Like, Verisa just laughs and points at her face.
I meant the Chantry was known to sometimes bend the rules when it benefited them.
So while you all are having this existential crisis, and you're so question, among all of you, there's like elves, one human, a dwarf. Who's carrying Anders?
Can we not find a stick?
Probably the human.
One of us, if we have to. Oh.
Like,
should
is
do
there
that,
no
though.
stick around? Because like we could totally like
We're kind of in the woods, right? The woods
put a
around
stick
Skyhold.
we could put
Yeah.
a stick under his feet and just carry him.
Just carry him.
Between
Should
two
we-
people.
Should we move his hands and feet to the front? Because it's going to be rough on his shoulders.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to kill him.
Now, is
And-
like Bastion and Mavia carrying him? Like, on the stick.
Be a
or...
bit of a height differential, so probably not.
I
Because,
mean,
like, yeah, like maybe is carrying Anders, and all of a sudden Anders just starts sliding down the stick and falls off.
I mean, you.
watch out for
I mean,
that rock.
theoretically, we wouldn't even need to we wouldn't even need to cut a stick because Bastion has his glaive.
Oh no, you're misusing his glaive. I mean, if you want to do that, so it would have to probably be Bastion and Aiden carrying him.
I'm
Once Aiden gets
sorry.
over his like shell shock of how long he's been
I'm
gone.
sorry.
Old man. Bastion
Mhm.
just kind of slaps him on the shoulder to
Oh.
try and snap him out of it. We,
Not that old.
W. I
uh,
told you you were old.
Don't be nice.
we've got an unconscious quarry here to carry back somewhere. Wanna grab the other end?
Oh, you would like me to?
Assist.
Why? I'm not the strongest person in the world, but yes, I definitely can.
I. Okay, you take the blunt end. I trust you more there. I'll hold the blade in its scabbard, of course.
It's too bad that we don't have Zelonis here because he has a staff and it doesn't have a blade. It's just got a knob on the end. It's a lot easier to carry.
I just don't know how to comment to that.
I mean, there are 2 other people with staves, but I think that would be a little rude.
Oh, I have a staff, but it's gonna break under the weight of this person.
Probably the glaive is
Isn't that a
best.
walking stick?
Yeah, it is.
Mavia is going to scrounge Anders' camp for any supplies she can find.
All right. I will tell you what you find later. Because it's not much. I mean, he's a runaway apostate. It's not like he has a lot on him. But one thing you do find is like a small rucksack and a pillow that is embroidered with what looks like runes, but not dwarven runes. And as a dwarf, and probably, well, no, Harold would know this. So no one else has been to or around Venter, correct?
No, but I think Verisa would recognize it because she found the scrap of it earlier, or she had the scrap to use to search with.
Right, she would know what it is, but she may not be able to read the runes on the pillow.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to read it.
But you find a knapsack or a small rucksack with this pillow, a few rations, a couple vials of lyrium, and you take it with you. Now the question
I got a
is,
pillow. I can go to sleep easier now.
don't lose that pillow. Just trust me on that. So
Immediately puts it down and forgets where she put. No, she won't.
So you all set off toward the Inquisition's banner, and after about an hour and a half of walking slowly because you're carrying this runaway apostate, you come across another camp. It's not the Alluvian that you ran into at first, but it's starting to look more familiar. Like this is a place you would have passed through on your travels, either to do stuff for Fenris's bidding or to run off and try to find Anders after he was sighted. So it is becoming more familiar to you. Give me checks because I want to see if any of you either notice the familiarity or notice anyone that you would know.
Do I get to roll a check, or because it's?
You could, but you wouldn't recognize anything.
Yeah, so I'll.
18.
Wait, I can't. 8 and 6 is
13.
14.
14.
And then
Okay, then I got
16.
19. I just couldn't
16.
add.
13.
Okay.
You're the worst.
Yeah, 10, 14, 16. Yeah.
Okay, Bastion.
He got an 8. He might have seen a tree.
Wow. So you're encumbered in every sense by carrying Anders. You're like, oh, that's a tree. Yeah. Yeah, that's a spruce. That's something. So Mavia being close to the ground and Verisa, because you're so observant, you notice and you hear more voices as you get kind of through this wooded area. And Verisa, you see Zevran.
I'm going to start singing. Mavia, as she's walking at the front, she's going to start singing very loudly. And you know what song she's singing.
Okay.
You know what
And-
song she's singing.
Yeah, yes, she is, but we need the vocalizations to be fully appreciative.
No.
Yes.
Oh, a wizard staff has a knob on the end, it does. A wizard staff has a knob on the end, it does. A wizard staff means he's a man. He grips it firmly in his hand, he does. I'm not going to sing all like 20 verses of this.
You started it.
I'm not finishing it.
Verisa would then sigh as she hears this and was going to be quiet walking up on Zevran.
Well, if
But
Bull
just kind of
is there,
shakes her
Bull
head.
would hear the music. Would hear
I didn't
Mavia
say
singing.
Bull was there.
Oh, that's true.
I didn't say Bull
Zevran's
was
there.
there.
Yeah.
And she's just gonna sigh and shake her head as she walks forward.
There's like
Are you?
sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a glance from Aiden to Atson. Just like looking at my staff, your staff. Does your staff has a knob on it? Oh, okay. Huh.
Are you jealous?
Maybe I
How
should
about I
put-
just I'll bring a new verse every week. That's what we'll do.
I appreciate that.
Do you want to touch my knob?
I don't want to touch you now.
I don't. It's all. I mean, maybe it doesn't. She's too close to the ground anyway. She couldn't reach it.
I poke Aiden with it.
No, that just.
That's uncomfortable.
I didn't know. Do we need a knob?
You see him just like have a moment where he's just really pondering the universe for a moment.
Both Atson and Gabe.
Yeah.
And your DM is just like, why did I agree? Why did I agree to this? Why?
Because you love us very much.
The smoother the knob, the less the sob. I don't know. I'm just trying to do what she does.
Yes, go with the joke.
What?
I mean, you already did kind of walk through Vaseline, so you're ready.
Through that.
That's true. All lubed up. Hate that.
Oh no! Can we just keep going now? Because my joke has been. Mine was a pun. It was a play on words.
You did this.
So was that. So was that.
Kelly, you did this. You made this happen. We just
Anyway, to veer us away from this weird entendre that no one wanted or asked for.
yeah. Well,
Verisa, you see Zevran, and since a quiet reunion ain't gonna happen, what do you do?
As she's walking forward, she would kind of whistle out and say, "Well, I got one. Do you want it back?"
Yes. You found Anders. And wait. He's like, for once, kind of shell-shocked. Like, he was not expecting any of you to come just striding through the woods. So for a split second, you see Zevran, Orion, and I very discomfited. Because he fully expected you, if you were coming back, to come back through the mirror that you went through.
Maybe I will announce that they are heroes. By the way.
Okay. Well, for that split second, you see Zevran a little discomfited, and he's like, of course you found him, of course. Come, I will take you back to camp, and I'm sure that Fenris will be glad to see that his wayward warden, mage, whoever he is to him now, has been
We have
recovered.
one small problem.
Yes.
We're short two, but we picked up two.
And he looks around and notices Atson and Aiden. And he just kind of cocks his head at Atson and is intrigued. You, my friend.
oh shit, that's right.
What?
Oh, Gabe just remembered stuff about Anders.
No, Zevran's looking at Atson. And he's like, you, my friend, you interest me.
No, I'm not interested.
I heard the dice.
I'm
No,
boring.
they just fall over. Oh, come now. You're in the company of such fine people. That can never be boring.
They're interesting. I'm boring. Like that one. And he points towards Mavia. She has so many questions. You should look at her.
Would Mavia notice that Athson is very discomforted right now?
Oh, he's smirking. He's smirking like hell.
And she knows what that means. So she's going to walk between him and Zevran and stare up at Zevran and go, has it been 65 years since we left?
No.
How long has it been?
And he like stares up at the sun for a second and does some calculations in his head really quick. 3 days?
Well, that's anticlimactic.
So we haven't lost an extended amount of time. That's good. Then maybe Harold and Zelanis aren't permanent. It's equal trouble. So, there's that.
So he's just really perplexed at the 65-year question. And he just looks at all of you. He's like, come, I will take you back to camp. I'm sure Fenris will be relieved to see all of you. But wait, where's the warden that he was dilly-dallying with?
Harold?
Lost.
We don't know.
You lost his new boy toy.
To be fair, I'm going to pin it on him. And she kind of points at
fair.
Anders. And he was the first one through the mirror after Anders. Anders was the one who opened the mirror, and none of us, and Zelanis immediately followed. So those were the first two through, and those are the two that were missing. So I'm going to say that Anders did something, because the rest of us all came together.
And Anders is unconscious right now. So Zevran just makes notes and he nods. He's like, well, we don't have time for all that. Let me get you back to camp and then we can figure out what to do from there. And he leads you back to where next episode you will find Fenris pacing around like a caged animal inside of his tent, and Bull still will not let him walk out.
Is Athson still smirking?
Not so much.
Okay. So maybe I will just kind of look up at him and be like give him that look of, you okay?
Yes, I just don't trust anybody yet.
Oh, I don't trust him at all.
That concerns me.
I don't trust him at all. And I think he likes Verisa, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
That's even more terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Verisa's like a knife, so if he likes knives, then he likes to stab.
Birds of a feather.
Oh gosh.
Can you imagine Verisa and Zevran?
Walked into a
Romantically attracted to knives. That pretty much describes both of them. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
They
how
were
would the
working
kids
towards
turn
it.
out?
The kids would they would be awful.
Daggers.
I mean,
perfectly well adjusted. Perfectly well adjusted.
to certain circumstances
Yeah.
involving the taking of life.
I mean, although I don't think Zevran would raise a kid like he was raised, because so let's wrap that up and then I'll bring up the history and lore. So that's where we're going to end. You all are being led back to camp by Zevran. You found Anders. Harold and Zelanis are still missing. And we can go from there. Not next week, but the 13th, because I am guesting on a show that is taped at the same time. So we're going to skip a week. We're not skipping number 3. And we'll be back on the 13th. And then quick lore thing is that Zevran was actually raised by the crows and sold to them at age 7 by his mother, I believe.
No
and
bueno.
his mother was Dalish and not accepted back into her clan because of Zevran. And they were like, no, you abandon your clan. You can't come back. So Zevran actually really, really has a thing about Dalish elves. But he also really likes Verisa because you don't talk down to him like other Dalish elves.
Oh, and I'm not a Dalish elf.
So he might like you.
That
He's
makes
fascinated
sense.
by you.
Okay.
Yeah, and Verisa and Zevran were playing Who's the Better Killer when they were flirting, so there's that.
That makes sense.
But yes, that is where we're going to leave off until next episode.
I can't wait for Aiden to meet Solus.
Sorry, that was my Solus face. Anyway,
Maybe it's just going to do one of those running jumps at Bull and be like, hi,
but yes.
whether he sees her or not.
All right. Turning it back over to Simon for us to wrap up.
Hello, I'm Simon. This was Dragon Age. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to everyone who hung out in chat. Thank you for the follows, the donations, the subscriptions. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. We will not be back tomorrow for Cyberpunk Red because tomorrow is Gen Con, and well, today is also Gen Con, but we're not doing anything for Gen Con today. Tomorrow we are running a private game, and then we have a panel. I'll get back to the panels after because I need to find my sheet again. And we're gonna have 2 panels on Saturday. 3 panels actually. I'm gonna guest on a panel by the HGS podcast. Is that the name? HSG, High Speed Gaming, who run a regular podcast on Cyberpunk. I will be a guest on that panel at 1 p.m. on Saturday, and then we have 2 other panels. Like I said, I'll get back to you about that. And then you can catch us on Monday for the return of our regular schedule with Castle Falkenstein. I'll pass the mic off to Deirdre while I find the schedule for Gen Con.
Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter. Praxagorath has me for you. You can see me around on Twitch. And there will not be anything on my channel tomorrow because I am also running games for Gen Con and our dear friends around. So that'll be good. And we'll be back here on Monday for Castle Falkenstein and hashtag Team Flirting and Drinking in Venice because it's fun times. And then in Wednesday on Laugh Love Lindy's channel for Witcher Family of Wraiths and the fun things that's coming up with. And but other than that, check my Twitter post where I'm going to be, all the fun things I get to do, all the games I get to write, all the wonderful people like these fabulous people that are my bestest friendies ever, and I get to play with. I'm so happy. Thank you, Tanya, again for running this because I always have blast with this, and not sorry that maybe a little sorry that we caused you so much agita, but we enjoy it. Thank you.
Well, some of you have my address. Just send me alcohol.
I do. I think.
Okay, then we'll fix it. I'll send.
Not some random person's just gonna get alcohol.
Oh God, who's next?
I can just see it now. Some random person opens like their mailbox and they find like a 40 of like some kind of alcohol just sitting there. Oh, hey, I got random alcohol.
No, well, the alcohol I like to drink does not come in a 40.
No, it does not.
Oh.
It comes
Yeah,
in like
this isn't Colt 45 territory in my crib. So.
No.
750s.
At least.
Yes. All right, who's next?
Andrew.
So I'm Andrew at Anderful1 on Twitter. I'm here on Thursdays. I work too much, so life doesn't really exist right now. Don't worry about it. It's going to get better soon. And that would be about it. I'll be sending or finding a way to send Tanya some alcohol shortly. Just, Tanya, thank you so much for doing what you do, because without you, we wouldn't have all of the fun we do on Thursdays.
Oh, God. I'm glad you're having fun.
I love it. It's the highlight of my week.
Yay.
And I will pass it off to Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly, the opera geek, also known as the bane of Tanya's existence. But
Beloved Bane.
Okay, so you can find me at twitter.com/theoperageek or twitch.tv/theoperageek, where I've been doing lunch break live streams, quite often Animal Crossing, but it looks like I might be starting the FF7 remake and possibly Senua's Sacrifice, which should be interesting. What else? Tomorrow night, I will be doing a Gen Con online game with Encounter Party. it's myself, their regular cast, and also Critical Bard. And the trick is the fact that we can't make characters beforehand. The characters will be completely randomized for us by chat. So I'm sure absolutely nothing can go wrong at all. Nope. But other than that, that's me. And yes, just like everybody else says, we love Tanya so much for doing this because it really is fun. And I feel bad sometimes with the faces she makes, but they also give me life. So it's okay. Okay, Gabe, your turn.
Hi, I'm Gabe. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and pretty much anywhere else on the internet at Gabe James Games. Like most of the crew, I am involved in some Gen Con stuff tomorrow, including a session with Roll20 about DMing, where I think I have another announcement that's coming out during that session thing. I don't know. There's too much going on. Sleep is a myth, but I'm pretty much this is pretty much my only stream actually that I do consistently. And I like being here. This is such a chaotic crew. And I literally never know what's going to happen next. And then I can tell sometimes Tanya doesn't either from like the face palms, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're right. Is it my turn?
And Tanya, it's your turn.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm Cypher Tier here on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else. This weekend's actually pretty busy. Tomorrow, if you've ever wanted to learn about charity, fundraising, and streaming through tabletop, I'm doing that panel with Extra Life folks with Pleasantly Twisted, Ivan Van Norman. That is the Gen Con event link I'm throwing in the chat. And it is from 1 to 2:30 Central, 2:30 to 4 Eastern. It's going to be on the Extra Life Twitch channel. So twitch.tv, Extra Life, 4Kids, the number 4. And then Saturday, I'm doing a panel and then playing Vampire the Masquerade would be Dave Walters, Alicia Marie, Christina Ariel, Critical Bard. And who am I missing? I'm missing someone. I forgot. I'm missing someone. But we're going to actually get to play Vampire the Masquerade after we do a panel talking about Black Lives Matter, creativity, and race in these terrible times, especially with COVID. Sunday, Rivals Waterdeep is back. That is episode 8 of 10 for our season. And then immediately following that, we're doing a Gen Con show, and Latia Jakis is going to rotate in the DMs seat and take us on a journey of ourselves in a high school AU, I think. I could be wrong. Latia, don't yell at me. So it is basically like 5 hours of Rivals nonstop on Sunday. On Monday, no one talked to me ever again because I'm going to sleep. And then it was announced today that I'm playing QuakeCon, and I'm doing Dishonored RPG Saturday and Sunday, helping raise money for a charity. So that's all on my Twitter. Follow me there. And if you try to follow and I blocked you, it's probably a block list. Just let me know. And if you're a nice person, I will unblock you. But yes, no game next week because I'm guesting on a show, waiting for B-Dave to say something about it publicly. And then we're back on August 13th for more shenanigans in Thetis.
Yep, and before we go and raid Gamer Glenn, I wanted to let you know one of our sponsors, Mage and Press, is running a Kickstarter at the moment for their starting adventure, their like starter kit of Adventures and Conspiracy in the Stars. If you want to play a sci-fi fantasy version of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, check them out. You can even get the hardcover book or even just the PDF of the core rulebook from Dark Matter, either from their website or literally on the Kickstarter. And then the panels that I had for Gen Con, I have them here with the time. So we're going to have What's Up with The Witcher with Cody Pondsmith on Saturday from 4 to 5. And then from 6 to 7, Cody will come back with Jay Kovac, and they're going to go through the art of Cyberpunk Red. And then on Sunday from noon to 1 p.m., Jay and James are going to come by to talk about portfolio overviews. So you send them your portfolio, or you send them those that have registered for the event have sent in their portfolios, and they're going to talk about like what's good, what's not, how to tweak things, how to basically make a portfolio to have a TTRPG company notice you. So that's going to be the 3 panels that we have. And then the panel for the one with HSG podcast, I'll post it on my Twitter tomorrow, so you'll know about it then. So on that note, before we leave, let's go raid Gamer Glenn and have a great evening, everyone. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.